good people? Welcome to VFX and Chill. I am your host and friend, Seth Worley, co-host actually. Seated to my left, there's so many things happening layers-wise, is my fencing partner, Mr. Daniel Hashi Hashimoto. Hashi, how are you? Something horrible's happened to your face, right? That's why you're having to shield it?
I'm just having one of those bad-faced days. So I grabbed the quickest non-topical face covering I could find in my house.
Those are rough days, the bad face days. We're now experiencing that moment in the broadcast where I forgot to put my AirPod in. So to avoid the echo, I'm going to just stall and say some things. Now you talk, Hashi. I think I'm connected.
Excellent. Let me just see if I can... Yeah, there. Good work.
That disembodied laughter you hear is our good friend Michael. Hello, Michael. Come on screen and talk to us.
Hello.
How saturated you are.
I am saturated. I was playing with my webcam settings and I noticed that this is the halfway setting on my color intensity. This is half of the color this webcam has to offer. And then
Wow.
I don't even want to go full bore. I think it might frighten everyone and bring about the robot apocalypse.
My goodness.
I want to see it. What's full?
I want to see it. You're kind of
All right, ready?
Andy Warhol'd out. Let's see.
Boom.
Michael dies. Just starts bleeding.
Incredible. Well, it does match our lovely fall theme. We have arrived in fall. I assumed that was
in us.
Yes. I thought that you had meant thematically, like based on the tone poem of a film, The Fall. And so I had made all sorts of other arrangements, but fall, the season, naturally.
We can pivot.
It's all good.
I'm fine with that.
Ugh, okay, my color's back to normal now. So I think I'm good.
Finally.
Perfect.
I'm fine.
Rough morning with the kids. I can see it. But amazing. Well, welcome to VFX and Chill. Today we are going to tackle a topic which often comes up in various ways. And I think one of the reasons why there's not a great definitive answer is because there's not a great definitive solution to doing face filters in After Effects. But we're going to attempt it today, and we're going to run through the handfuls of ways that we have learned how to do face filtery type things. Is that a reasonable description of what we're planning to attack today?
Definitely. And it's one of those things that everybody has always had. Like this, since the dawn of Snapchat, we have, in the dawn of Snapchat filters specifically, those of us who have been in this field for some time now, we're always like, I mean, I get why the phone can do it quicker, but also, why can the phone do this quicker? While you're making Snapchat faces, watching it real-time render, while on your computer, After Effects is like, I'm gonna need about 3 hours to track this dot, and you're like, come on, man. And then it was the year that Apple announced people occlusion, where I was like, there's no more excuse. There's absolutely no more excuse that we should not be able to get this. And then I never really. This is one of those areas where I've always thought about, and you touched on this a little bit in the, what was the episode, the Matrix episode? Oh God, great. We've been, Hashi's been replaced by Pseudo Hashi. It's good to meet you, sir. This is bizarre. I can't figure out who you are.
Hello.
What?
I look a little bit like Yellow Bastard somehow, with this.
Yes, that's exactly what I was saying.
And
that is 100% what you look like.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon the language, folks.
Yes, it's a character name, everyone.
But, you're more clothed than he was, which I appreciate.
Yes, that was my because I'm wearing my fall shirt.
Fall shirt. Anyway, you were doing something to Neo's face, making him look a little youngified, and did that optics compensation bit on his face, and it reminded me of back when I saw JJ's Star Trek. There's this cool character at the beginning, way back in 2009. There's this character, this is nurse or doctor, and she turns to camera and reveals she's got these big warped, eyes that are huge. And I remember thinking when I saw that, like I was just learning After Effects, and I was like, I wonder if you could parent to the eyes and parent like the center of a distortion or bulge point and just do that in After Effects. And then I never tried it. So it's been, 11 years since then. And today,
and today's the day, folks.
Today's the day. We're gonna parent some bulges to some eyeballs, and it's gonna be fun. Now, you ready for me to go to your screen? Huh?
I was going to say, do we want to have a discussion on why the phone is faster than After Effects and why it's not a bad thing?
Well, that sounds like it's time for Michael's corner.
Well, I mean, there's a multitude of reasons why the phone is quote unquote faster than After Effects at it. One is that it's using a lot of the stuff the phone has that After Effects doesn't have. Like in some cases, it's using the phone's own gyroscope, and sometimes it's using Face's scanning tech that's in the phones. But the other thing is that if you look at Hashi while he's moving around, it's twitchy. It's twitchy as heck because it's not a good match. It's just an approximate one. It happens very quickly so it can work real time. When you're working in After Effects, which is very focused on being pixel perfect on every frame, After Effects is going to want to track slower but more accurately. That's the basic answer. There's more tools in the phone. There's a known focal length, for example, whereas when you're throwing footage at After Effects, it's not a known focal length. And it's got dedicated tracky tech based in there. And it's, as you can see with any face filter, if you actually take a second look at it, it's janky, it's slow, it's choppy, it doesn't match the movement right. And what you're doing in After Effects is you're trying to actually match it correctly. A VFX shot has slipping, jumping, twitching stuff everywhere. It has to look right. So that's why.
There still needs to be a Seth and Hashi button in After Effects that sets everything to like 1/8 resolution and can be choppy. But I digress. Hashi, I'm going to go to our screens now. Look at our beautiful faces. God.
It sounds good. So, yeah.
So much us on screen right now.
In tutorial fashion, the first step is obviously to film a face. Film a face doing what we're doing, which is...
Film your own face. Yeah. That just sounds... It sounds like a public service, like a holiday you would like some kind of be nice to other people holiday you would have in elementary school. Like it's film a face day. Film a face. I went too long with that digression.
I liked it though.
Happened.
But we both instinctively did what is something that might be learned behavior from using face filters in with phones, which is we're not going crazy with our head movement because we're aware of some of the limitations that face filters usually have, which is they love this front part of the face because it's pretty trackable. It has a lot of identifying landmarks that it knows what is. And some people may not know that After Effects actually has a couple of tricks up its sleeve as to how to track said features.
Yeah. First off, there's this, which like I still don't think people know about or use very much. And I think a lot of it is because people don't know how to use it because it gives you the data, but it doesn't give you the it doesn't really tell you what to do with the data in the way that other stuff like camera tracking or even just 2D tracking in After Effects, like it has it's like still results based. And the face tracking in After Effects, from what I know of it, is very much just like data gathering based, and it doesn't have an application side of the effect. And it's, for those who don't know, you simply just create a mask roughly around a face. And on the tracker, you have two versions of it. You have outline only or detailed features. I'm going to do detailed features because outline only is pretty self-explanatory. And it should track my face. And you see right there, it automatically has figured out like specific like points of my cheek and eyes and nose and mouth. And it's tracking those points along with a much more... It's still kind of approximate and broad, but a much more specific like outline of my face. It took the elliptical mask and turned it into a face mask. And
notice it's even tracking where your pupils are pointing. It's got your eye corners and your pupils both, which is quite handy for some visual effects tasks.
Very, very handy. It's not always super accurate, but it's great out of the gate.
It is. I found that the facial markers like the eyebrows, eyes, nose, and mouth are usually pretty solid and stable. It has a couple of different points on kind of like your temples and cheeks or something like that. I can't remember what it calls those markers, and those are the ones that I find shift the most.
Oh, really?
Um, like they'll like slide up and down, a little bit up and down wherever it perceives is that, pointy part of your um, jaw a bit. So it's a little bit less reliable for data on the edges of your face, but the mask shape is usually pretty good. Um, and yeah, I like the result that you got over there,
Well,
which
then it
is
gives you all
lovely.
of this great. It just gives you keyframes, which again for me at first was a little confusing because when it comes to tracking in After Effects, I'm used to being able to apply these keyframes to something.
Mhm.
This gets you half the way there, but it's actually like insanely useful. And so even just like with this on this plate, I can go. So like that's well, okay. Before I talk about application, that's one way to track. The other way that I've done it is the way that we talked about. I'll actually just still keep this
Well,
mask.
actually, while
Yeah,
you're here,
yeah.
um, do you want to mention setting a rest pose and extracting face measurements
I actually
from
want you
here?
to do that because I don't know anything about it.
All right. Since you have a tracked face, let me walk you through how to do it.
Yes.
Go to your mask and pull up that track mask menu where it was before. So now that you have gone through and created all of these keyframes, if you look down there, you should be able to see in the tracker,
Yeah.
facial tracker, a little button that says Set Rest Pose.
Now I have only the mask selected, not the track points. Is that okay?
That's good.
Okay.
So
Set
you'll say
rest
set
pose.
rest pose. And what that did is it's basically you find a pose where Seth is not doing anything extreme with his face, which this frame works for that, I think. And now if you click on that next button down that has appeared, I can't remember what it says. It's like
Extract and copy
extract.
face measurements.
Excellent. So now if you look at your layer, there is an additional basically
Oh
effect that has
damn.
been added.
Oh damn. I didn't know this existed.
So look at this. This is, again, it's still not an application, but it's a lot of data. And what it does is it extracts a bunch of data, assuming that your first set rest pose is 0.
Mm-hmm.
It tries to like extract like what's happening to your face.
Yeah, we've got orientation on all axes. We've got overall face scale. You've
Mhm.
got left eyebrow distance, left eyelid openness. What?
So look at all this just data that After Effects is willing to give you. I really like that. And
Data.
in case no one could tell looking at my half of the screen in the meantime, the glasses are added and the including that dynamic reflection, which I can get into showing people how
Ooh.
I did, but that was digital, folks. I don't know if
Hang
I
on just a second, you and your fakey fake
my
digital effects
fakey
that look
fake.
real.
Wait, was anyone fooled? I don't know.
I was.
The
I
chat was silent about your fakey
Chat
fake
was
glass.
silent about my fake glasses. So
They didn't even notice.
amazing. Even though I didn't really finish the like actual the little whatever they're called,
The legs.
the ear legs the things. They kind of disappear here and there, but they kind of work. Anyway, yes, on Seth's side you can see all the glorious data that After Effects is willing to provide you as a head start on any of
I
these
no longer
effects.
need to do the other thing I was going to show because I
Oh,
didn't
well,
know I could do that.
wait, I want to hear though, because there really is no one way to
Well,
um
you're right. I actually teach this in my class. There is no one way to do anything in After Effects, and often there is no right way to do anything. There are 1,000 ways to do any one thing, and it really is up to your.
more than one way to flay a feline as
Sometimes there are wrong ways, though.
Yeah, there are plenty of wrong ways.
Yeah,
100%.
but there's no one right way to do most anything.
Correct. Here's the other thing that I do is I'm just gonna duplicate this so I don't have to go and do all this again. I'll turn this mask off and turn it off, and this will be
Oh,
my.
Hashi, I will say the chat has lit up saying that they were all fooled and they were a fooled fool. They didn't even notice your fakey glasses, but they are also claiming that perhaps they would have noticed if they were watching in 1080 instead of 720 and are
Mm.
Do you guys
annoyed.
want the lag, or do you want 1080 pixels? Which one do you want?
But we want no lag and 1080 pixels.
Get me a
Then
new computer. Anyway, so here's what I did. I turned that mask back on, and I'm going to pre-comp that mask so I burn it in. And I'm going to call this one my tracker face, which was my nickname in high school. It's actually tractor face. I don't know why. Track camera. And I'm just going to camera track this disembodied face floating around as a way to try and trick the camera tracker into thinking that it was a camera flying around a stationary face.
Ooh, I love this method.
It's a fun method because then you get like real 3D, like you get real 3D like that. You can put stuff in 3D space on your face and it stays to your face. And now here's the thing: I actually did shoot this. I have tracking markers on my face in this shot, and I painted them out. And normally, when I've done this, I've tracked it with the tracking markers left on. So I'm going to see if this worked without the. Did you do tracking markers on you?
I did not, but my hair is such a fixture in space.
Wow, look how much it relied on that hair.
I can cut through glass with my hair. I basically did the same thing here. And I'll show everyone really quickly. One of the fun things that I did was, obviously after you do your little face track, you get this egg floating face thing. But this mask data can be helpful in other ways. What I did was I kind of expanded my mask a little bit and just feathered it a teeny bit. So it looked, more like a soft edge of my face like that. And then I'm going to make 2 duplicates of this tracked face here. So watch this. 2 duplicates of it. I thought I said 2 duplicates. Come now, After Effects. Follow me. There we go. On this middle instance, I'm going to reveal my masks and just delete the masks all the way. So I have my whole self. And then I'm going to use the top copy as a track mat. And the fun thing about facial movements is that they're somewhat local and relative. So if I take this tracked mask and bring it up here and just scale up my whole layer, it's really likely that now my animation will basically be the whole top of my head and the whole and my chin line pretty nicely. And that's pretty handy.
Nice.
So with very little work, you can have these great floating head kind of effects. And this is because I knew my hair would be helpful because of the weird contrast points. I used that for my 3D track. And it looks like you've made your way into your 3D track already,
Yeah.
Seth.
I mean, I was going to say this, like, if you just were to put a little microphone, like headset on me, like this would look like every behind the scenes clip ever these days. Every like motion tracked facial performance. Like what you did with Roy Kent a few weeks back. When you actually added the mic and everything else. So
you could almost become a little Buzz Lightyear right now. Like that, like when I see that. Amazing.
So
and actually, yeah, down in the chat, I don't have anything really specific that I want to do today. So I would love to try to show you a little bit how those glasses worked. If any of you follow me on Twitter, I put out a really stupid thing that I was also experimenting with. But yeah, we love suggestions because they make the show much more interactive.
While you do that, I'm going to set up my like distortion rig, my face distortion rig with like all the bulges and various stuff. And then I can, we can check in and I can walk through it and such. But I'm actually not at first, maybe I'll get to it, but I'm not right now going to work with any of this 3D data. I kind of want to play with just the 2D stuff to keep it simple and
Nice.
somewhat procedural. But this is still always fun to look at. Like I always love laying solids into a scene after it's tracked and just watching the scene play with the solids in it. But it's even funnier with it on my face.
I will say there's something just satisfying about watching an object track that is like nicely solid like that.
Yeah,
like it's just fun. Can you see
really
with the
fun.
background? Ah, there we go. It's like you've got post-it notes on your face.
it is. That's the post-it note effect, and that's how you add post-it notes to your face in post.
We really do need to finally make our full short that is about, temp effects, like stand-in effects.
Oh, 100%.
But like interacting with them in real life.
I think this wants to be a superhero face, so just give me a second.
All right, I see the question about if you could use this track to animate a different face. And the answer is, with a lot of work, yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
that brings me to something I want to bring up later.
Do it. Well, a long-ish time ago, probably like 2008 or something like that, there was some Disney DVD featurette where they had if people are familiar with the lore of the Haunted Mansion, there was a character called the Hatbox Ghost, who was a character originally conceived for the ride, but then removed. And so there was a whole lore about this character who carried his head in a hat box. And the special effect was that you could see his head, and then his head would look like it disappeared and then appeared in a hat box. This has been Disneyland history. He's been since added back to the ride. Now that they are able to pull off the illusion successfully. But I, at one point, needed to animate a bunch of narrations done by this Hatbox Ghost character. And the way I did it was similar to what Jesse Rogers in the chat has been asking, which is, can you extract this data and apply it to something else? So there are ways. There are not phenomenal. And am I expected to just ignore?
I'm sorry. It is distracting me with these two split screens that like neither of us are ever able to like fully have anyone's attention.
It's beautiful.
Keep talking about the Hatbox Ghost.
Oh, no. So I remember trying this, which was drawing dots all over my face. This is before After Effects had the facial tracking, which would have been largely helpful.
Did it look somewhat like this?
It looked a lot like that. Oh, wow. So you removed far more, much more tracking data than I thought you had to.
Well, that's not good.
Nope.
Did you save?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Great.
Well, before it crashed, it looked like your kids were playing tic-tac-toe and had lost their whiteboard and needed your face.
It did look like that, which is not an unlikely scenario in this house.
Yes, and Julian is asking about EB-Synth, which I have tried playing with before.
What's that?
EB-Synth is a remarkably straightforward, effectively a motion vector-based predictive renderer, where all you do is it just wants image sequences. So if I were to convert this whole Hashi looking around into an image sequence, then I would feed it that image sequence, and then I would go to one of these, paint on top of it, and then feed EB-Synth that one frame, and say move like the other frames. And it's an interesting thing.
Yeah, it's like like style transfer, but based on motion vectors instead of some sort of deep learning thing.
Yeah. Oh wait, I'm not sharing my whole screen, so I've pulled up EB-Synth, but it's not.
It's just a gray box.
Just a gray box. So that is a reasonable approach to try something like that. The few things that I tried EB-Synth for, I tried taking the there's a scene in the movie Casper, the friendly ghost, that features Dan Aykroyd reprising his role as a lovable Ghostbuster, but he has a full mustache at the time, and I wanted to make him look like non-mustached, and so I did. I do remember attempting this at one point. I don't know. I don't remember what results I actually got from that or not. It ended up that I ended up needing so many keyframes to do it because he's running out of a house and down the stairs and up to the camera and then runs out. So I was putting a keyframe every like 6 to 8 frames, and at that point it was I was relying a lot less on the digitized assistance for the motion there.
Yeah, that is a problem with it because anytime you get an angle change, you need to paint a whole new thing. It's not as temporally consistent as you might like.
Mm-hmm. Now, this example where I'm barely moving around very much might actually work pretty decently with it. So I won't rule it out, but I'm also not able to demo it great right here. So let's see. I think we should stick a TV screen to the forehead and have, oh my gosh, that'd be perfect. We need to figure out a way to plug a live stream into one of our After Effects layers.
Yeah, After Effects isn't great about anything live. Like I remember, like even back in the day when computers were way slow, people would be like, "Can I pipe my After Effects key light into my live stream to do weather?" I'm like, "No, you definitely can't do that."
I like how they're asking you permission, Michael. Mr.
After Effects
Michael,
is not
may
going to
I
process.
please?
May I please chroma key myself live with After Effects? No, you may not. Shut up.
Amazing.
It's a great teacher and parent.
Oh man. So to jump back to this world, let's see. I did what Seth was mentioning earlier, which was basically just 3D camera tracking my face for this little bit here. Let me see if I can reveal. Yeah, there we go. I 3D tracked my face, no markers or anything, and it worked pretty successfully. And what that gave me was this sort of stand-in little square here attached to my face. And it's all right. There are a few little glitches because the shape of my face is changing. My eyebrows are moving and stuff, and I didn't block them out. But I did rename this layer wall and used the indispensable normalized track script to make it so any layer I dragged in, for example, this keyed pair of glasses right into the comp, and they would basically, as a 3D layer, center themselves right there. So I'll isolate just this layer. So even this, because the track is pretty good, is decently convincing. There's a bit of floatiness on the nose contact, but I kind of ignore that. And the second thing I did was I created this layer, which was just taking my glasses layer and drawing 2 solids right where the lenses were. Same dimensions and everything. And the reason for that was I wanted to be able to create basically a mask to place something in. Specifically, in this case, the reflections of the other side of the room. And so I had a couple of different ways that I went about this. The first thing that I did was I thought I'll, add this mask here. And then I thought, well, let me grab a picture of the other side of this room and just place it here. And I'll scale this down. Whoops. Scale it down to where it sort of fits within where the glasses are. And then use the glasses as a mask for it. So I'll say alpha matte there. And when I play this back, already the effect you get is that they are somehow reflective because you can tell the reflection is staying put when my head is moving, which is pretty cool. But it's not really completely accurate as a reflection because, as you all know, if you a reflected flat surface exaggerates the movement of its rotation. So if I look to the left, it would actually be revealing more of the or as I turn screen left, the image will reveal more screen left, and as I turn right, it would reveal more screen right. I never remember that until I like always like pull out like my like phone screen and quickly do it in front of my face to remember. Because like I mathematically get it, but I need to visually see it just to remember, wait, which way does it turn and what happens? So I went a little wild with how accurate, quote, I wanted to make these. And so what I did was I created this secondary comp, which is the background. And I have some transform going on here. And this transform is based on me taking a value from, let's see, where did I do it? If I can reveal my layers. Nope, that's not the, there we go. I decided to place a 3D null that was basically where where the tip of my nose was. And that tracks pretty solidly throughout. And then I added a secondary null just to contain some data. These two sliders that have expressions on them. And in retrospect, there were probably better ways to do this, but all it really is I used a 2comp expression to find where this 3D null was from over the course of the action and offset it from its initial position so I would get a delta. So as I turn left, this number would go up, and as I turned back to the right, it would become a negative number. And then I ported that over to my reflection comp, where I'm taking that expression and moving the reflection left or moving it right based on how far I'm turning my head. So once I had done that, it gave me, let's see, this result here. Where now I also have converted the glass to screen mode. Normal, here's what they look like. But you can see when I turn my head to the left, the image actually moves to the right. And when I turn my head to the right, or screen right, left and right are going to be interchangeable from me. But yeah, they're doing, if they were flat planes, they're doing what they are supposed to be doing. So this was a good step in the right direction. And then I decided I'd really love some distortion on these glasses. And so what I really needed for this distortion was basically a version of just these glasses moving around like they are in this comp that I could use as some kind of a distortion map. So I duplicated them out separately to create this, which is just my a whole copy of that comp with all the same tracking and everything like that. So this all would match up. Oops, let me turn the camera on so you can see it. Yeah, there we go. And then I filled the glasses white. I choked them in a bit and then fast box blurred them out over a black solid.
It is often sometimes important to choke a bit.
Yes. Then we all end up with, where are they? So, glasses. This glasses mask in here, I'll just make it visible for a second. Looks like that. It just goes right on top. But I hide it and I throw it down to the bottom. And then when I bring up my background that is automatically grabbing data to offset itself, I can add chromatic displacement to it and source that glasses mask. And as I do that, you can see I can soften or unsoften an amount of distortion. Let me try to find a straightforward frame. So check this out. So at like 0 settings, nothing is happening. Whoops. 0. But if I turn up something like the displace amount, maybe soften my displacement layer, I can start to get, this is actually inverted. Wait, no, that's correct, right? Yeah, because the lens bends outward, it would show you wider. So look at this. This is all using chromatic displacement with a displaced background, and just it really
That's ridiculous.
fools you in a nice way. And so if I convert this to, or if I just say, screen, then um, you get a very convincing kind of what you would expect from a reflective surface. And that's my pretend glasses.
Incredible.
I like your pretend glasses. They look so good and real.
We'll see you around, Mr. Vaziri.
Oh, he gone? I'm sorry, Todd.
Is he scheduled already for our show?
No, he's not.
Did we not?
He keeps stalling on us. I'm sorry. He's not stalling us.
Vaziri, if you're around.
He really wants to be on the show. We're trying to make the schedule work. We're very excited to have him on.
Excellent. So this has been Fake Reflections with Hashi. Seth, how are you doing over there?
I'm good. I'm just I am dropping like bulge layers onto
Oh my gosh.
onto this and parenting them to the face points, and I'll show you kind of what I think. Actually, that should be my paired to my nose bridge. So like basically when, like for example, this is my whole face bulge that'll affect the entire distortion of the entire face.
That is your whole face.
My whole face.
It's my whole face bulge. And so I'm going to what I did was I alt clicked on the bulge center in the bulge, which is the name of a gay bar in Parks and Recreation. It's the only thing I think of when talking about this effect. So I parent it. I did it to the nose tip, but I think I need to do it to the nose bridge. So, and I'm doing this all on one layer instead of an adjustment layer for a reason that I'll show you later. But look at this. So now I've got this distortion that is parented to these specific points on my face that allow me to so like I've got them labeled for like eye left. I turn up the bulge. I can like make my eyes bigger, and they are parented to these face points, and so they automatically move with my face. And I can build this whole rig using bulge for the eyes, and then for like the whole face, and then for my nose using smear, where I set it to be the from point to be the nose tip, and then the to point to be the nose bridge. So I can have my nose either be up all Voldemort-like, or I can have it go down. And I actually, one thing I have wanted to try, but I'm not going to here because I'm trying to keep this procedural, is to put a null object, like a 3D one in, and do something where I can parent that 3D null object and then do a 2-comp parent of the tip of the nose smear to that null that's extended slightly out from the nose, and see if that creates the illusion that it's actually the distortion is moving with the 3D null.
Ooh, I like that.
Not, but right now,
I've done that with puppet pins before once. Like I had, I didn't have a good 3D track, and so I think what it was that I had artwork that wasn't 3D, but I had a camera like gently just like trekking across a shot, and so I tracked 2 things in the foreground and then puppet pinned the back to not be moving as much in parallax, and remarkably, it distorted the artwork great off of that.
I'm curious, is there a way to generate puppet pins based on the face points? The only way I can find is to just manually go and place the pins.
Yeah, I don't know, Adobe. You should.
There's a nulls to pins script out there.
Yeah, but there's not a nulls to puppet pins.
Yeah, and there's a nulls to pins script, and it automatically puts.
Is that like an AE scripts, or is it already in here?
I think it's already in. If you go to File Scripts, look at it. Just File Scripts.
Puppet points to nulls or something?
Something. I forget. Maybe it may have been someone else. I've got a script somewhere with it on.
Well,
excellent.
Send it here sometime.
Yeah, I don't know a great way to do it.
Here's what I want. I want from points. I want from puppet points and to puppet points.
Yes. Now, yeah, I think that a couple months ago, Cinecom did a walkthrough of how you could manually do it, and it sounds like a pain in the butt. Like you basically have to sort of the way you choose a rest pose with I love your face, man.
Isn't that ridiculous?
So doe-eyed.
It is so great.
It's so fun. My favorite though is to do. I haven't added the mouth bulge yet. There's one that just bulges the mouth and chin that looks pretty great, and it pairs well with this one. Where if I go negative on the eye bulge,
oh no!
Yes.
No.
And you just get this like beefy man cake like. Just
oof.
Who is this?
That is so great. You see, I feel like there should be more movies made entirely with these effects applied to people.
I agree.
Battle Angel Warlita, they say.
What?
Warlita Battle Angel.
Warlita. That's
I love it.
Fantastic.
All right, let me see. Where did I
And I will say, in all of these discussions of different ways to do this face tracking stuff, we have not yet hit on another very popular way to do it, which was done in the very old school video Copilot tutorial called Demon Face Warp, where they
Face Warp.
How did he do it there?
It was reverse stabilization. So he stabilizes the face.
That's
so
right.
It's perfectly still. Does whatever warpy stuff he wants, and reverse stabilizes it back.
That's
so
my old.
You do whatever. You use liquefy and whatever you want, and then when you reverse stabilize it, it then matches where it's supposed to be.
Smart. And that's my old school way to camera track before we had Camera Tracker built into After Effects. Even in Apple Motion, I would stabilize a scene and then apparent everything to that stabilized layer, and then including a camera. Or,
nice.
I'm sorry, apparent the camera to the stabilized layer.
Yep.
I also will mention while we're in here, if this shows up properly, this is Motion Bro.
It does show up.
Talk to me about Motion Bro.
So Motion Bro, I believe I got it specifically for this face kind of application, but I believe they make a whole bunch of other stuff. So I'm not a good representative for what is possible.
Is this product called Motion Bro or the company? So
I believe the company and the extension is called Motion Bro, and it runs a bunch of different packs that you can get. Specifically, I got the After Effects Face Tools pack made by Video Lancer. And what's pretty wonderful about it is it relies on you having done these face track points that you showed at the top of the show, Seth, and setting a rest pose and extracting the face measurements. And once you have all those, now is when you would bring in Motion Bro, which has a bunch of things like generic effects, like enlarginating the mouth or the nose, creating assistant track points that are either 2D or 3D track points based on a certain part of the face. So I could say, for example, if I wanted a 3D track point that was based on where the cheeks are, I can say apply while I have this layer with all this data selected. And it will create for me, think. The way this template works is basically it has a bunch of different After Effects project files with all the expressions baked in, loads them in, and then copies and pastes them into your comp. So, for example, I've now received this 3D face by the cheekbones null. So I guess it'll disappear if I do that. But if I scrub through, you'll see that it's a pretty reasonable, just from that data, no camera tracking has extracted what should be the 3D orientation of my face. And in theory, let's try that now with a, if I were to bring my glasses into here, didn't I thought I keyed them out somewhere. Pre-comps maybe? Oh yeah. Okay, so if I bring these in and make them 3D and attach them to wherever it's placed this thing. Let me see how well this works. Let's scale that down. I'm not going to spend a tremendous amount of time, but if this were sort of aligned this direction and I place it here and it's parented to that 3D null, when I play this through, it should be somewhat in alignment. Let me see here. Yeah. I feel like I'm getting slower than usual playback here, but for how little should be going on here.
Well,
But
if you're using After Effects 2022, you can tap on Oscar down there in your timeline panel and see where the slowdown is happening.
Oscar, that's
oh
right.
yeah,
Oscar being the name of that snail, as in Oscar go, as in escargot. The
all
food.
right.
Oh,
What is
snail, not turtle. Why did I say turtle? Because it's my computer. That's why.
so? I'm getting a lot of
snail
time
is
on the
also slow.
3D
Doesn't make sense.
face track. Why is that taking any time to process? That's boring. That's not even doing anything. But yeah, you can see this has tracked these 3D glasses on decently well. I mean, I didn't try lining them up very well to begin with, but it's following them. And Motion Brew also comes with, oops, I did not mean to dock it. Let me come out here for a second. I think it at the time came with the Face Tools starter pack, which does a lot of the things that you're playing with right now, Seth. So I could add any kinds of distortions to the head based on different parts of the face. You can kind of see me flipping through some of the objects here. But it also had things like this, which is why I initially bought it, was for the makeup effect, where, let me, for example, apply this. So I'm applying the tiger animal makeup to myself right now. And again, it counts on you having run all those face measurements before. And let me see if this worked or not. See, I tried to demo someone else's product and it doesn't work.
Well, it makes me feel better because it's kind of similar to the rig that I was setting up that I was going to show you.
Excellent. So yeah, the don't entirely know what I've done to make this one not want to show up, but maybe I selected the wrong layer to begin with. Anyway, what this did was something similar to what you were talking about, Seth, where it tries to puppet something onto my face based on the measurements of everything. And I'm not getting a result right now, and I don't know if that's because of how recently I updated this compared to updated After Effects. So back to you, Seth.
Well, all right. So here's the fun part about making this rig. I can go through and add even more controls than I currently have, but right now I have controls set for both eyes, nose, mouth right, mouth left. Oh, mouth right, mouth left, by the way, are just smear that allow me to stretch my smile out or bring it in or pucker my lips in. And then whole face and whole mouth. And so here's what's fun. I'm actually going to delete the face measurements. I don't need them right now, and I actually just don't know what they're all going to. I can create them again in a little bit, but I'm not using them right now. But I'm going to use them in the future because they're amazing. And here's what's super fun. If I can select all of these. So keep in mind that all these distortion effects are all on the same plate where I have the face track points applied. And so if I select everything but the face track points in my effects, and I go to animation, save animation preset, I can save an animation preset called, say, face distortion, which I have here, which I can apply to anything that I do a face track on in After Effects. And it will automatically set up that rig.
Jeremy Cox, who, by the way, hi, Jeremy, love your work, says he wants to see all those controls you got going with a wiggle expression. Yeah.
Oh,
that'd be fun. Yes. All right. So hold on. So here I've got, I did a face track here of this shot from Death Becomes Her. I just needed something. I had this from last week. So this is Goldie Hawn just giving, her husband Bruce Willis a look like, why are you applauding so much for this other woman? And I've got all the face track points already applied, so I'll just apply face distortion to it. And when it automatically looks for an effect on that layer called face track points and pairs all the stuff to it. So now I can just very quickly I'll need to adjust the radius of each of these because she's a different size than my face was. But I can very quickly go in and just start doing these distortion effects to her. Let me taper that.
Oh my gosh.
So I was hoping to right now go in and find some effects to apply all this stuff to, just to mess around.
That is a lovely concept. So just by having because After Effects calls that data the same stuff, you can just apply that filter once the face tracking is run. That is cool.
You could actually use this to shrink and enlarge people's heads as well, probably, which is now all I want to do.
That I feel like you should do that. We use this mildly in the Captain Marvel template that you can get from the Captain Marvelous episode, where if you have any comp and you run the advanced 3D tracker on it, it'll add lens flares to the eyes.
Let's see.
It's a simple way to do that.
I have a scene from Jurassic Park. I wonder if I can get faces from that.
Lovely. I'm looking through old files to see if I have something on my computer anymore. I don't. So, while you talk about modifying and adding things to faces, I thought I would do something that is along these lines. But this character, Voldemort, was a really, really cool character to see, because he's just like we hadn't seen. My computer's having some real trouble opening MP4 files right now. I should probably convert these to something more stable.
If you go into your preferences and turn off hardware decoding for, it's under media and disk cache, maybe, possibly.
Wait, what? Oh my God!
There's an option to turn off hardware decoding, which is usually on because it makes things faster. I forget what exactly it is. It might be. Oh no, it's under import. Sorry, my bad. Import. Yeah. If you turn that off, it stops using your GPU to try to decode MP4s. Which, if there are issues, it can sometimes fix them.
All right.
In generally speaking, it should be on because generally speaking, it should be faster. But on certain machines, it can cause problems. Like on my desktop, a lot of the times MP4s come in green because it's old, and the hardware is like, oh, I can't do it. Or with my laptop, leave that on, it's fine. It's faster.
Amazing. So I don't know what'll happen to our screen for a second. I'm shutting down After Effects and restarting it. I'm just going to run my little close After Effects quicker program that I wrote.
I'm asking, does face track work on T-Rex faces or just animals in general? But
I
definitely
doubt
specifically.
I doubt it does, but I've not tried it. Michael, you'd know the answer to that.
I've never tried face track a T-Rex, actually.
I'd say safe bet is no.
Oh, you should, Michael. Everyone should at some point. Let me track Ellie Sattler's face real quick, Dr. Sattler's face, and then I'll move to
All right.
the Rex.
Hashi, I have a question about that third-party extension you were referring to. Does it
Mhm.
work only if you're a guy using After Effects, or are girls allowed to use it too?
I don't know.
Because the name would
Motion
imply
I'm
bra.
against bro culture as a whole.
it
So
would imply you have to be a certain kind of dude to use it, and that kind of it has the whole "girls aren't allowed" implication in its name.
mhm.
Similar question.
I
Is it
say
still okay? Oh, you go ahead. Go ahead. Actually, we want the answer. Sorry.
no. I want to hear.
Well, similar question, which is there are some plugins and effects that are for color that have like visualized skin color, etc. And I'm curious if that applies. I've never
Oh,
tried it in other
interestingly,
hues.
yeah. So the skin tone, human skin tone, is the same level in color grading, regardless of race.
Oh, that's
No,
amazing. I didn't know that.
yeah, the amount of melatonin doesn't change the actual hue tone of the skin as much as you might think it would. So, like for example, in Colorista, that orange dot on the color wheels is going to be on the skin tone, whether you're black, white, or any other
Wow,
color. Like, yeah, it's neat.
that's wonderful. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I will point out, since we're talking about equitable language and Motion Bro being on the wrong end of that spectrum, After Effects and Premiere Pro and Audition and a lot of places are changing some of the names of their things. So instead of having master slave type things,
Yep.
they're changing it to be less evocative of terrible parts of our history. Like master properties is now essential properties, which is much nicer.
Yeah, and particular, I think we moved from master emitter to primary emitter,
Yep.
which even then it's actually even more representative.
Well, it makes more. First of all, it makes more sense, and second of all, it harkens back to nothing terrible.
Yeah, anything that harkens back to nothing is preferred. It's like that's where we want to live.
Love it. So
Does anyone have a T-Rex handy
I've got a
face
T-Rex
track?
handy, and I'm gonna do it. I'm on this.
who are you talking to? But, yeah.
Actually, I mean, there is an animated T-Rex inside Cinema 4D's asset browser that we could just drop in, render, and then track if you didn't happen to have footage of a T-Rex
How
handy.
long has it been there? Can I ask?
Longer than you probably want me to tell you.
Okay. Well,
Years.
okay. Hashi had
Years.
Hashi had one
Right.
for me when I needed it back in 2016.
Oh, it was definitely there back then.
Okay.
So, this was something that I was going to do a little while ago, but it was I really wanted to know what Voldemort would look like if he had a nose, and so I searched
Oh, Hashi,
on
your screen is covered with a gray square.
the gray square.
We see your After Effects interface.
Okay, let me After Effects.
Seth, we have a Maxon employee saying it's been there for over 10 years.
Over 10 years.
Well, in my defense, I haven't been using Cinema 4D in over 10 years, so actually I have on and off, and actually that's true. In over 10 years, I have been using it on and off and on and off. I just relearn it every time I open it.
Excellent. So thanks to Michael. Oh wait, what? Come on. Oh, maybe it's a cached frame. Yeah, thanks to Michael's suggestion, it looks like this is reading properly. All right, so here we go. We've got this scene with Voldemort, and I've done the same thing to him where I've face tracked the features on him so I could extract some 3D data. And I have inserted this. I found a model that had a somewhat like Ray Fiennes-ish, like esque nose, just reasonable enough that it looks all right in here. Now, I think that if let me just try aligning it a little bit better. So his nose is probably somewhere around here. This is my 3D controller that is, so I guess a little bit lower, maybe like that, line up the top lip like this. Excellent. And then I'm going to do a very, very simple thing, which is I just have another solid above my my 3D head is rendered like this. Let me see if I can get the lighting a little bit better. I'm not even using anything, any real lights. I'm just trying to rotate the environmental light kind of match what it looks like. Maybe a little bit higher.
Seth, are you? Oh yes, you're keyframing her eyes to get big when she sees the dinosaurs, because that would be.
That's it. That's what I'm doing now. I was trying to get Grant's. That's absolutely what I'm doing now.
All right.
That is David Fairchild's suggestion.
I love that idea. So let's do.
Too much ambient occlusion on here right now.
It's gonna be so
dumb. I'm doing just equally stupid stuff over here. I'm trying to figure out.
What are you doing over there?
I'm trying to somewhat match the lighting direction.
He's trying to turn Voldemort into Voldersnort.
Voldersnort. Wait, let's see. So this to the side, I can compare while I'm looking at the right thing. It's like vaguely, I don't know, vaguely above him. Wait. I don't know. I just want reasonable lighting on this nose. So there we go. And I'm going to add.
Sorry, I just accidentally made this. You turn one layer off, and suddenly it just becomes its.
That's so beautiful. So obviously, in real 3D, you could go in and you should paint in where the nose is visible or not. But I'm actually just going to use a 3D solid that is also tracking with the face, and I'm going to tell. Yes. Look at that. So this is a 3D solid, so it sort of rotates with the face, and just drawing in a little shape right here, kind of gives me what I was hoping for, which is.
Oh my gosh! You've been wanting to do this for months, since the second week of the show. You've wanted to add a nose to Voldemort on the show and find an excuse to.
I wanted to so badly. Yes. Okay. So mine is that glitch frame. Why do you glitch at me, frame?
Why you glitch at me?
Wait, you don't glitch in the pre-comp? I've tried some stuff with this in the background here. All right. Well,
okay, that looks like handsome Squidward for a second.
It kind of does. Like we're in the handsome Squidward realm. But let's see. So this nose is all right. It may not be a perfect match for Rafe Fiennes. He has a distinct nose. It might be, let's see, maybe skinnier and rotated. Oh, look at this.
Wow.
I love this. Oh, he's so cute.
So many things are happening.
Are you not entertained?
Okay. Tank says that they can't believe they're witnessing all of this for free.
For free.
And yes, and Tank, actually, speaking of things for free, if you go to the Maxon training team's YouTube channel, there's a lot of stuff on there that you used to have to be big companies and pay Maxon lots of money for, and there's now putting webinars up there for free. So if you're interested in learning more guidedly and directly, the Maxon training team's YouTube channel is a great place to go.
Yeah, I think that this is pretty guidingly. All right, okay. So we've got a nose going on here. I'm still getting that glitch, which I want to eliminate. What if I switch to half res? Does it resample the image and ignore the glitch? Hey, it does. All right. So here we go. Now we've got some. We've got a nose going. I like that. And now I'm going to top layer, this is going to be really, really bad to begin with. So I'm just going to, let's see. Let's try, you know what? I need to sample this. I need to sample. No, who has some, let's see. I'm going to sample from this beautiful picture of myself. Yeah. All right. There we go. I'm going to sample from my own forehead. This is from our YouTube thumbnail. Something that if anyone makes YouTube videos and enjoys making the thumbnails for them, I hate you. All right. I'm going to use Pentone, where I can sample 5 different colors that I want to get ported over to be his new skin tone.
While he's doing that, Seth, do you have a finished version of our bug-eyed lady we can see?
Oh, yeah, it got silly, but yes, hold on. It's that's not it. That's what I was trying.
See, if this were our thumbnail, we could get so many more views and clicks.
Probably true.
I think that we should just swap out our thumbnail at a specific date and just measure how many people would click on that video right there.
Let's see if.
All right.
I think I got too big with the eyes.
All right. The loveliest part about that fake 3D tracking thing is that now, if I wanted to, I could add like an adjustment layer, convert it to 3D, and now if I go through, it basically is stuck where it is. So if this were, I can just do something like draw a little adjustment layer right here on the eyes. And maybe on these, I'll add some toner to push these toward like a bluish green, lovely eye color.
Got some nice blue eyeliner going on there, Hashi.
Heck yeah.
Oh
Let's
man,
see,
I did this
feather
bulge,
these out.
this reverse bulge of the whole face of her, and for some reason it made it even better to me.
Oh my god.
And she goes,
Oh.
This is phenomenal.
let's just
Yeah.
push that even further. How small can we get?
All right. I guess this should be smaller.
When you get a moment, Hashi, the chat wants his nose to have the same sort of bright highlight the forehead is receiving.
That's a good idea. Let's get that going. Where are you, nose? Let me make you shinier. Don't know if any of this will be showing up or not. I don't know what you can see of my screen at this point.
We can see the Element 3D interface.
Hey, you can. All right. So let's see
That
where my
should
glossiness is. I'm going to turn down the glossiness influence of the texture. And well, actually, no, I do want the glossiness influence of that up. Ugh, that's so
great,
weird.
Seth.
All right.
Oh, that's off. That's why. Okay, we want some. Let me see if that will add some glossiness to his nose.
And David Fairchild suggests scooching the nose up just a little bit further up the face, as that's a little closer to where Ralph's nose is.
Rafe.
Yeah. Ralph, whatever his name is.
Excellent.
Rafe Raff.
And I think I'm actually getting these. I thought it was from the AO, but I think it's actually from the texture map. So maybe I could, if I just move the mask a little closer, I'll get less of those harsh shadows there. He looks a little bit like I'm forgetting the actor's name, Hedwig and the Angry Inch now with my makeup treatment here. All right, so let me see. So because this adjustment layer is just a flat 3D card with masks on it, but the camera moving all around it is sort of effectively trying to track it, it'll do sort of the effect of it's funny with his nose there, makes me realize how much is going on with his upper lip. I didn't realize that his upper lip was so messed
Oh
up.
yeah.
Sorry,
Also,
Rafe
how
or
much less
Voldy.
scary
Oh,
he is with
there
the
we go. Wait.
nose.
Oh, wait. I did something with the angle of the nose that made it feel better to me for a moment. If that tracks with the nose. All right, I'm aware that the highlight on my nose is not doing what I wish it were. But
You've just
we're getting
undid the
close
work of
here,
many visual effects artists getting rid of his nose.
which is I do love them talking about removing his nose on any of the behind the scenes features for this movie because they all have to try to politely acknowledge that it was a massive undertaking to erase his specific nose in a polite way. All right. I think we're getting closer now. And also, I don't know what your streaming speed is from my end, but it's hard.
It's
It's hard.
yeah, the stream's coming through well.
It's hard to not imagine him saying "hairy butt."
Hashi, can you talk a little bit more about how the adjustment layer is linked to the eyes? There is an AE beginner who
Oh,
is not who kind of
oh,
missed your summary of that.
absolutely. So the way this whole comp is working is that we had our initial footage of Voldemort here, and he kind of looks up and he's moving around, and we ran a camera tracker on his face. So now what After Effects is doing is it's treating his face like a landmark, like this is scenery, and it has created a virtual camera. Let me see if I can show a view of it that is sort of rotating around. It's imagining it's rotating around a stationary object. And you'll see it's a nice little like curved path as if it were out here in space. But all that does is it makes it so if I were to add some kind of a 3D layer of any sort, and let's see, I'll turn that 3D here. And let's just make it a little more visible. So now if I add a 3D layer and I play through, because that camera thinks that this is actually like the ground or whatever, anything that I put in here will sort of track to where his face is. And I can sort of figure out where parts of the depths of his face are. So if I add an adjustment layer, like this one, I can turn it to a 3D layer because adjustment layers can be 3D and move around. All I have to do is draw a mask where the eyes are and no other keyframes, but because the camera's moving around, it'll sort of follow that general space. And you can see it drifts a bit, and that's probably because I guessed the wrong Z depth here. So let me move the Z depth in a little bit and see if that tracks better. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, 3D, amazing 3D layers, 3D adjustment layers, as it were. To answer everyone's questions.
It answered him to my satisfaction.
Lovely. So yeah, the nose and this adjustment layer with the eye tracking and a bit of my skin color thing. And yeah, again, I'm not going to be the best at adding color to these types of things, but it's at least kind of fun.
Well, speaking of adding color, I just want to real quick show off that I'm using Colorista to isolate my skin tones here. And change only the hue of those skin tones. So a lot of people don't know that Colorista has a keyer built into it that you can use to find the skin tones and either isolate them to correct them or invert that matte and only correct everything around outside the skin tones for secondary keying or coloring. And so I'm able to now change my skin tones to be blue, green, purple, whatever it is I want to make myself look slightly sickly if I want.
A lot of people think of keying as a visual effects thing, but keying is also hugely important in color grading, and the color and the keyer that's in Colorista works out so nice for just this kind of task, but also for fixing issues as well.
Yes, for causing issues and fixing them. So now I'm going to use the 3D tracker that I did use the 3D track that I did before. I'm going to apply some noise to my face. Let me see if I go in and I set this to multiply, I think. I get this nice bruising on my face that I can animate and etc. But it'll be stacked right on there on my forehead. Now, obviously the layers, I'll need to fix the edges because as I turn, it's a flat, solid on a curved forehead. So it's got to be modified a little bit, but it's nothing like what you're oh my God, what you're doing over there.
I don't even.
Oh, and the chat is commenting that folks from Corridor Digital put the mustache back on Superman for Justice League, which yes, we've seen and is cool. And
because
then
we were going to do it.
Them saying, we would love to see Ren or any of the guys in Corridor Digital on the show. And the answer is yes, we would love to see them too.
We've actually been talking to Ren. We're just trying to make his schedule work as well.
Schedules. Same with Andrew Kramer. Schedules.
Yeah.
Yes. Busy folk.
I believe the mustache was something we were like, oh, let's just add mustaches to things. And then one of you in the Slack was like, Corridor already did, which is which is a frequent thing in my house where I'll try to impress my son with something I did. And he'll be like, oh, I saw Corridor did that. Is that where you learned it? And I'll be like, probably.
It's our version of the Simpsons did it.
Yes, it is.
All right. I'm doing a really hacky. I just want
we all see what you're doing, Hashi. We can all see.
I really just want some extra forehead to fill out this wonderful bit of hair that I found by searching hair PNG. So I
want that to be the name of my blog, Hair PNG.
I like the idea of this being what Voldemort dressed himself up as to show up at a nursery and be like,
hello, where are your children?
I am Harry Potter's uncle, here to pick him up from school.
Uncle Nanny.
Yes.
Uncle Nanny, what's your last name? Voldemort.
Voldemort's son.
The Mortician.
So, I honestly don't know if this gets much better.
Oh, Seth, your chin is fantastic.
Well, thank you.
Wow, you're like,
watch this.
Thanos-esque. Which
it is. Watch this.
Wow.
You just dupe the adjustment layer and it doubles everything.
That's so cool. Do it again.
Do it again? Let's see.
Okay.
Oh!
All right, let's since I have them around, now it looks like a Dana Carvey character.
That does look like a Dana Carvey character.
All right, let's see. I am.
Darren points out that this is a good practice for those who are getting ready to go home to scary uncles at Thanksgiving.
Yes. Oh, Thanksgiving, everybody. It's within.
How can I? I'm sorry, Hashi, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No. I had nothing.
I'm trying to figure out how to interpolate the midpoint because they have you have mouth top and mouth bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to figure out how to parent this. What expression would what math?
This plus that divided by 2.
Say it again, Mike. Sorry, what?
This plus that divided by 2 will get you the average between 2 points.
Thank you. So top equals.
Just gonna throw some drop shadow on my. I really love just using drop shadow.
Talk about optical glow. Celeste
the
is
way.
saying someone needs to use optical glow. It's been at least 20 minutes and I'm jonesing.
No one's used Ecto in 20 minutes.
Let's see. See, look how much a softened out drop shadow can do for this character.
Oh,
I
that's
love.
good. That's good.
He looks so concerned, in this version.
Yeah, his non-existent brows are furrowed. Speaking of, got any eyebrows handy?
Let's see. How about, wait, didn't I just, here we go.
That's better. Now that the mouth is better. Thank you, Michael. Dumb. I didn't even think about just averaging the two.
That is why I am here.
All right, let's do this, and let's run a light extract on this. So we can just soften out the edges there a teeny bit. All right, here's kind of an eyebrow. Make that kind of straight and crop that thing, and we'll call this eyebrow. Where are you?
Brow before me and we.
Brow. All right, let's make that a 3D-ish thing. Okay, and
sorry.
it's so lovely. Wait, let's see. So I want this to be like in this realm. Okay, let me see if I turn the full up again. Let's see, there we go.
That is the uniest of brows.
Oh yeah, red giant unibrow.
Now he's a choir leader. Like
that was a good joke, Hashi. That was a real good joke.
That was. I talked right over it. I'm sorry.
Thank you. It's a specific, for a very specifically small target audience.
Not that small. There's a lot of people who've subscribed to Red Giant Universe.
There are dozens of us.
Dozens.
One of my favorites. Let's see. Would overlaying do what I think? No, it wouldn't. What do I want? Darker color, maybe?
Multiply?
See, I feel like multiply is too extreme.
Yeah.
But let's see. This monster of a creation just slays me. All right, I'm going to do the classic add an adjustment layer between 3D layers to keep them separated, so I can now.
And Hashi, if you notice, After Effects now in this version draws little boxes. Or is it does it in the beta version? I can't remember anymore. But draws boxes to show you your 3D bins in either this version or the beta version. I can't remember which. That is so good.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so interested. Okay, wait, let me add some really bad orientation. If you came here to learn, I hope that you are as satisfied as we are with ourselves.
I mean, the chat was enjoying Seth plus Hulk equals Sulk a minute ago.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Big fan.
I love that my daughter calls Mark Ruffalo Hulk and the Hulk Buff Hulk. So there's smart, I think it's Smart Hulk and Buff Hulk or something like that.
Buff Hulk.
Oh, I'm so worried. My natural eyebrows.
I love this so much.
My very natural eyebrows.
Oh,
Wait, okay, so let me kill the keyframes on this for a second and then just... Over here, let's see. Just because his lip makes me so uncomfortable. There we go. Just a concerned old uncle. Oldie Mort.
That is 100% Voldemort in disguise. Like,
Fake mustache.
Like series of unfortunate events
yes,
level.
that's
What's that
that's
character?
Count Olaf Voldemort.
Count Olaf. Hello, I'm here. Okay.
I mean, while this may look like we're goofing off, there have been a lot of knowledgeable tidbits. You may need to rewind and go back to catch them, chat. But there's been a lot of tips today.
You know what?
Yeah.
That's the thing. I actually, at the beginning of this episode, I was like, we're being more educational than we've been in a long time. And now here we are.
Yeah. There's no way we would have this power to be able to wield it in a responsible way.
There's all kinds of things. Like when you're working on a visual effects, even serious visual effects work, every once in a while there comes these times where you're just like, this technique is working, but what if and then you play for an hour. It's fine.
Please look at my colorista panel, like my LUT picker panel.
Oh my gosh.
Pick a lot.
I think I'm Sony S-Log.
Love it. I also love that his hair is coming out of the screen. And I'm making no effort to do anything with it.
Rather, you've made an effort to to cover over the letterboxing to fill in his extra forehead instead of just letterboxing the whole thing. Oh, what is this hair?
Look at that. Ooh. He's even funnier with really unnaturally colored hair.
He's trying to recapture his youth by just dyeing it just a little bit.
Just just take the edge off. I like him. Oops. Okay.
I feel like this with the hair and the eyebrows needs to land on Twitter with certain people tagged.
Yes, I think it does too. Let's see. Oh, he's okay. I'm gonna call it on this one. I think we've gone as far as I would like to with.
Oh, Seth, you look like the kid off the middle.
Or the Six Flags guy.
Wow. This is amazing. Okay. So note to our staff, we need someone to I think Chris Ranos of Lockdown, which is also something that we're ignoring in the midst of all this.
What?
Chris Ranos and Lockdown, the in After Effects surface tracking, which is also really cool.
Oh, is that Lockdown? Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm. Could help with a lot of this stuff.
Unfortunately, called Lockdown right before we all went into lockdown.
It's like, I'll release this plugin in February of 2020.
Oh gosh. Is that or
whatever?
Is that the one that's got the rhinoceros and the
That's the one. We have the rhinoceros. Yeah.
That one was cool.
Oh my gosh, Seth, you belong on like a like kids yogurt drink.
Yes.
Like,
that is
on a
exactly
Go-Gurt.
like
A Yoplait or Go-Gurt like ad. That mouth needs to animate much bigger.
Wow.
To there.
That's right there. That is such a shot. No, go back. Oh, that was so good.
No, okay.
Yes.
Right there.
Yes, that picture right there.
That is incredible.
Oh,
that is
so good.
We just need a Danimals logo right across the top of that. Thing like that.
Danimals.
Incredible.
Oh man. Well, you got anything else?
Oh my God. I don't know.
The Red Giant or the Maxon website says this is a 90-minute show, so you could end now and be on time.
Why would we do that?
I mean, I wouldn't. I'm here for the law.
I wouldn't.
Excellent.
I know exactly what to put behind me. Hang on.
All right, wait.
Production crate. I saw this earlier today. Space.
Excellent. All right. I'm just moving quickly back to this original comp. So to summarize some of the stuff we learned today, we used the whole method of drawing a loose ellipse around your face and then right-clicking over here to say track mask, which will give you the option to do face tracking detailed features, running that, setting a rest pose, and extracting and copying face measurements, which gives you this lovely set of data. Like, look at this. It's like a offset X, Y, and Z percentage, an orientation of your face, left eye by its eyebrow distance, how high or low it is. All of this wonderful data over here that you can all basically take and manipulate or expression link things to if you would like. We learned that we would like to have a way to convert all of these data points, if we could, into puppet pins without having to do it manually. So this is something that just needs to exist. And I have not gone on to jump onto AE scripts or anything like that, but it really does feel like if there is a set rest pose and a fixed number of points on here, that you should be able to create a new comp that is basically the same as all these attached to puppet pins, so you can do something to it. And that is what Motion Bro can do when working. I don't know if the newest update to After Effects broke it for me demonstrating it to you, but I feel like there's a simpler process of just creating a pre-comp that is puppeted to your face. And I want to write that now.
Do it.
Do it. Do it.
The chat has been lighting up with some entertaining suggestions and comments just in general.
Oh, what are they?
Well, they're noticing that Seth looks like he's about to eat the basketball, which is obviously true. Axon Media says that was an ad to Go-Gurt 5-gallon bucket edition. David Fairchild says you should add the Jeopardy board behind Voldemort. And that then led to Axon Media to say, sorry, Mr. Mr. who was Cedric Diggory, which is a
deep cuts.
Now, Seth, I feel like you could have made that background a part two, but
I could have, but you know what? It was way easier. Just I saw it on Production Crate, and it was way easier just to grab
right there.
Okay, so wait, let me just.
That is actually real easy to do in particular.
I know, and with that particular and optics compensation are my go-tos for making the Vic. You just reverse optics compensation, and you like stretch it out, and it looks all warpy. In fact, I got a tutorial, like old tutorial for that somewhere. I think I don't know.
Wait, where you do what?
Where you do the starfields, and you do the. That was almost a Cosby impression, which is not a thing to do anymore. optics compensation, time reverse, not time reverse, but where you reverse the distortion or whatever it is, the checkbox, and then stretch it all out, and then it all your warp star fields. It's moving, but it like moves even faster, and it like warps all around and feels like a Star Trek
nice.
warp thing.
I feel like you should demonstrate that. We've got 24 minutes.
Well, all right then. New composition. 1280 by 720, so it goes faster. Space.
Oh, still got that mushy compression frame.
Mushy compression frame.
Oh, Rotobrush 2, you are just a delight. I always love having you over.
Hashi. It's me, Rotobrush 2.
It's so useful. Like on some shots it doesn't work, but like I when it came out and I started testing it for the first time, I was like, my tagline for it is actually useful. Because when Rotobrush first came out, everyone's like, this is gonna be great, and then it sucked hard.
Yeah.
But like Rotobrush actually works now, and it's so nice on some shots.
It's unbelievable when it works. Like it's to the point of like, who died to make this? Like, who did we sacrifice?
Like especially if you've got hair on a decent enough background, like it gets hair when you use the refine edge.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I always think of when I'm doing the refine edge. I always think of it was some interview with someone in ILM right after Avengers, and they were like, "Who's your favorite Avenger?" And they were like, "Captain America." And like every like it was like it was clearly like a fluffy, puff piece kind of thing, but everyone who's ever rotoed anything understood immediately why Captain America was ILM's favorite Avenger.
Yeah, no question. Thor with that hair? No, thank you.
Black Widow?
Too many elements. All right, okay.
They like them a well-chiseled man with straight edges and curves.
Where did I
mean, it's not hard to roto America's rear.
It's America's ass. I love that movie. Right. Let's find me some stars. Where are they at? I forgot.
Yes, this is it.
Do they classify as nature? I don't remember. Yes.
Hey, nature. They are. There we go. Nature. Just add a bit of some camera lens blur, and then we'll super comp these two together.
Michael, these stars aren't moving. I feel like I should just create a new one. What do you think?
You know how fast you'd have to be moving for stars to move? I think you should
recreate it. Do it on... I would do like a circle. No. You know what I did actually once on this? I needed a star field going, but I didn't want the stars coming at the camera because they would get too close to it. Mm-hmm. So I just made them I made it emit disk, and they just were going that way. But I made them scale up, so it looked like they were coming at the camera like this, but they were just doing that and getting bigger. I was very proud of myself.
That's smart. You could also do a spherical field right around yourself, and then they won't go near you.
I used a spherical field actually on the A$AP Rock and Blockhead music video for Jazz Hands. Yeah. When I had that trash swirling around the actor. Sometimes the trash, being that it's a fluid sim, would be a little unruly and want to go through the actor. I'm like, you can't. That's not good. So for some of the shots, I had to put a spherical field on him so their trash would just kind of push around him as it swirled.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
It mostly worked, and I mostly got all the trash pieces. Don't look really carefully at it frame by frame or anything.
That's what everyone wants their like music video work to be, is analyzed frame by frame.
Music video budgets, man. You got like this much time to do this much visual effects.
Wild. All right. Wait, what am I looking for? Dun, dun, dun,
that is looking very Will Ferrell as Trebek. Yes. Hashi, there's a color matcher in Supercomp. What are you doing?
I ran it already.
Oh, did you?
Maybe I didn't.
I mean, that's fine.
Oh, I didn't let it finish. Sorry, I was impatient. I'm exaggerating this a little bit because it's like it might be like a little bright set or something going on. This looks like the Children of Men moment or something like that. Like the people like stoically.
I mean, he would have different lighting on him than the board, so actually, I don't think you need to do any color matching. To be perfectly honest,
Yeah, I'm gonna.
not a lot. Like I would dial that way back. Like turn the amount down to like 10, or just delete it. Like, it's fine.
See. Oh, my rotobrush is propagating. I forgot to freeze. And freeze. But hey, that propagated pretty fast to get all the way to there. You know, this frame just looks like this is such a beautiful still for like a.
So good.
I love
so much.
looking at my screen for a while and not looking at yours, and then coming over to yours and see where you're at and what you've been doing, and it's just always so rewarding and wonderful.
It just looks like such a soul crushing moment from like an indie film that like, oh man, you didn't see this? It was really good. All right, I'm gonna save out this this image right here
For sure.
because I like right here. Let's see, where can I render that? I'll render that to the VFX and Chill renders. Geopardy. Beautiful. Oh, you can't hear the satisfying After Effects ding, probably.
Do you
That
have
was it.
Do you have it set to give you notifications?
I haven't set that up yet.
It's really. I mean, all you have to, is one box. It's just one box to take the render queue. It's right there. And when the render queue finishes, your watch will be like, "Hey, your render's done."
I love that. My watch has been dead, but I've been wearing it for the last like 2 or 3 days.
Well, yeah, you don't want to lose your tan line
I know.
as you head up to sunny
Lose all
Canada.
all my street cred as a watch wearer by people who see me without a watch. I don't know. I lost my.
I'm going to try to say this sentence from the chat without stumbling over myself. Axon Media says, Voldemort Trebek is Eugene Levy in American Pie and the Chamber of Secrets.
Wow. There's
That's
so much.
a brand new sentence.
That
No one has
is.
said that sentence before.
Especially since my co-host is Eugene Levy's son and character actor.
Are you calling me Dan Levy?
I think that you have a Dan Levy-esque Dan Levy with glasses presence.
That is one of
If you've
the
seen him
greatest
out
things.
there
That's
with-
one of the single sweetest things you've ever said to me, that anyone's ever said to me.
It's
And
because
I'm gonna
all
cry.
day I dream about Seth.
I don't know Dan Levy personally, but, from what I've seen, I would take that as a very high compliment.
It is a very high compliment. I'm a big Dan Levy fan.
Well, Schitt's Creek is probably one of my favorite TV shows. Like Arrested Development and Schitt's Creek are right up there.
Yep.
How long
Same.
into Schitt's Creek does it become like one of your favorite
By the end
shows?
of the first season, it's one of those
Yep.
like it. Especially once you're in, it's one of those for me. Once I was into season 2, it was like, oh, I'm actually really, really enjoying this. Like I was appreciating it, but it was
season 2 it starts getting
it gets
Okay.
more
It's just-
tender and it gets more
Because I got
warm.
like 4 or 5 4
the characters
episodes
develop.
in,
Like it
and
takes a
I've
while.
heard it's so good, but I haven't had the patience.
A lot of it is warmth. Like it just becomes so like there's a scene that I always want to share with people without giving anything away, Michael. It's the scene right before Cabaret. I think isn't Cabaret that they do, and it's the scene between Catherine O'Hara and Stevie who those two. Like I just said, the actress and then the other character, but it's the scene with those two that I feel like that's the one I would show anybody because it's so. If you watch only one episode and you give up, but if you were to watch the first episode and then watch that scene and see how warm that scene is and how sweet it is.
Yeah. I mean, the payoff is so good because the characters too. Like and then it just pays off more and more and more and more as it goes on.
Yeah.
It's just the sweetest show. But like they start off as assholes. Like they just such a good job of making that believable character development. And like you love them.
And what they do with his character in the last season is so wonderful. I think that's the arc of the last season, unless they introduce a particular character earlier than that. I don't remember. where they land everybody is just great. The end.
Yeah,
Well, that's
Hashi.
good. I will.
It's a show that's worth being patient for.
All right. Will do then.
Cut to
Assuming you like happy,
impatience.
heartwarming, pleasant shows.
I do like the happy, heartwarming stuff. Though the world is crazy enough. I want my my escapism.
Celise, the things that they are doing don't rely even a little bit on the GPU. So getting a 3060 to be able to do what they're doing is not going to help you.
Oh yeah, I'm on a pile of garbage right now. Literally working on top of a pile of garbage. Optics count. Let me see. It's been a while since I did this effect. Let me see if I.
All right.
Come on. Are you guys still there?
We're still here. We're just
Okay.
waiting
Bated
for
breath.
ludicrous speed to pay off here.
Here we go.
Yes,
This
that's
is-
it.
Yeah, it's this.
Whoa,
I need to add
yeah.
more particles, but this immediately creates the like. I need to add like twice the amount of particles and stuff going on.
And you need to keep them hitting the camera. But yes.
Yeah.
That's the look. And then then you can twist it using twist and colorize it and do whatever you want. But
And
that's
bop
the
it.
technique, folks.
Twist it and bop it.
Yep. That's
Scrunch
the
it.
technique, folks. If you want to warp speed, here you go. There's a warp speed in like 5 minutes.
It's pretty cool.
Warp speed in 5 minutes is a funny sentence.
Warp speed.
I was very happy
Stand-
with myself.
Stand by for warp speed in 5 minutes.
I like Mr. Sulu, like just being realistic with his timeline. Have I ever? Nope, that's not an on-air story. Never mind. Some other time.
Beautiful tease, yeah. Find Seth online at Awakeland 3D.
That's just on Twitter. On Instagram, he is the Seth Worley.
Yeah.
All
Thank you.
those other Seth Worleys.
Thank you, the great Salapsky, or whatever it is you're. It's the great what?
Salazam, what is it?
Salazam?
Zalam. It's the
Zalam.
first.
Zalam.
Yeah, it's the first 5 letters of my last name and the first letter of my first name. It was from an old database login from back in the year 2001, and it just when they created the logins, it was the last 5-year last name, the first 5-year last name, and the first letter of your first. And someone was like, Zalam, that sounds like a magician, like the great Zalam. And I've
And you were
been
like,
so ever since.
because it is.
Oh, I didn't even mean to make the background 3D.
Oh my god, I love whatever you're doing over there.
I don't entirely know. I'm just adding 3D objects knowing that they would be semi attached to me. Let's see. Move back.
Hashi, what? Yeah, what? My question is what?
But I don't have a. I'm doing a bit of a. What was that Terminator TV show?
I see what you do.
This really reveals the little pops in there. But
Yeah.
every week I'm inching closer to going to doing the full
If
here
you
from
Mars
smooth
Attacks.
expression, those keyframes.
All right, so let's see. What kind of data we got in here? All right. Position and orientation. Let's try adding a smooth expression to this data. So that would be smooth, right? And then these camera movements are, what are the parameters here? It's how wide a range of frames you search for and how many keyframes you sample within that space. So like I want to smooth it out, actually probably way less than that, like 0.2 seconds wide and sample 4 keyframes within that space and smooth it out to that. Let's see. Oh, no. Oh, dear. I don't know what's happening here. So that means that my camera track probably has, because that's not the smoothing, that's probably the fact that the orientation is going wild. So if I added smoothing to the orientation also, oh, I have a feeling because it's a tracked camera, it's really going to dislike, yeah, it's going to dislike that. Orientation doesn't like smoothing because whenever the values get right up to 360 and 0 and it samples frames on either side of it, it does let's see, like it looks right once you're on one side of it, but like then it has these moments.
I can't see. What'd you type in after smooth parentheses?
I did 0.2 and 4 because that's.
Don't do 4, do 5 or 3.
Oh yeah, odd numbers, because then one of the samples is the actual value, right?
Yes.
All right, so that got us closer. So
that's really interesting because, well, there's the drawback to the camera tracker way, I guess.
Yeah, so camera tracking data is a little bit weird because it's treating you as static and rotating around you.
Yeah. Seth, are you about to supercomp this? Because I feel like it's about to get amazing.
I am going to supercomp it.
Wait, let me enable.
So
oh my
good.
god, I haven't seen this. Is oh my goodness.
You got 7 minutes. Let's make this amazing.
It needs.
What does it need?
A red giant energy drink logo.
Oh, what happened? Supercomp didn't do well with Primat for some reason. Uh-oh.
Divas
I uncovered
don't like working in the same building.
Let me try this.
Let's see. Oh wait, maybe not. I reduced my sample range to smaller. Nope, it's still going a little bit crazy. Y'all see what I was trying to do. I just wanted to be a little floating head on the top of a thing.
A little thing on a thing.
Aw. Okay, what if I did point like...
Jason Murphy, we are aware the ball is getting distorted. If we were doing this for real, we would fix it. But thank you for pointing it out.
Jason Murphy.
Or we'd at least see if the client asked for the fix first.
It would be fairly simple to fix. You would just put a mask over the ball and use that as an effect mask for all of the bulge effects. You'd be good to go. Or over Seth's head, either one.
Rinda.
Oh, very easy. Around prefers. Oh, what is that one? Echo? Eker? Echo?
It's Eker.
Eker.
Yeah.
Let's just name this video Eker with that thumb and
no explanation.
We'll continue to get dismal views because we insist on naming our episodes clever, dumb names.
If we name them
what they are,
what the content is, and
I feel like we'd get
then
so
it's not
much
an in joke.
I know you're right. It's not an in joke, and it's too successful.
Should we start naming them more sensible things?
Here's the question. I think it's either on the thumbnail or in the title of the episode. I think we pick one and say and have one be the most like prescriptive, like this is what it is.
Yeah. So
well, this week we'll do face filters and After Effects question mark. Question marks are always good for engagement.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Can they?
What is
Will
happening
they?
here?
Better than Snapchat? Question mark.
Hey, Michael, what's going on here? I pre-comped this, and it's still coming out like this.
Move all
Alright.
attributes when you pre-comped?
Huh?
To move all attributes when you pre-comped?
Yeah. No, but I mean, I'm sorry. I pre-rendered it. This is a rendered like image that looks like this,
Are you
and it's
serious?
coming out like this in Supercomp. This is new.
Oh, are you on the latest After Effects? Can we
I am.
throw someone else under the
Oh,
bus?
Here's what I'm gonna do. But I've used Supercomp. I use it to make our background, and it worked just fine. So here's what I'm gonna do.
yeah.
I'm gonna try and make this alpha a little more pronounced.
Well, what layer do you have as the background? Maybe it's just not seeing that well.
It's seen it just fine here in the preview.
No, I mean, maybe Supercomp's not seeing that background for some reason.
Oh, it's not. You're right. Oh,
So it's not Supercomp's fault.
you're right. Okay. Then I'll pre-comp that. Hey, good job, Michael.
Sorry, Supercomp, for blaming you. It wasn't your fault.
Wait. So we need
Got 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Oh man. Let's see.
Jason Murphy is kind of appalled. He says he's just so used to effects on this show being so perfect.
Aw, I'm used to you being so perfect, Jason Murphy.
I'm gonna see. That's kind of fun.
That font is so close to the Red Giant logo you had just there for a second, except with fun little curls. The last one.
Wait, what was it? What did I have?
Yeah,
It
that
is. It's just like it
Whoa.
started to like it's starting to transition to like a Squid Game animation.
Yeah, it's Red Giant right before Squid Game logo. That's exactly it.
Uh-oh, I chose a font that is questionable. What did I do? Oh no, it's the reason this is happening is the bad luck of us. Michael, Seth, and I are right now geographically perfectly aligned. Like from Omaha straight down through Tennessee, we're just in a straight line across the country. And when that happens, things get weird.
Loose.
Wait. I don't feel like I have a good energy drink vibe.
No, if you want an energy drink, you need a different font. That one's too fun. Energy drink is aggressive.
Why are you taking so long, fonts? Holy hell.
Whoa, language, Hashi.
Holy Helvetica.
Nice save. Hey, Seth, remember when we had a Space Jam episode and this didn't happen in it?
I do, and this really should have happened in it.
I'm so sad that I didn't really get to be around for the Space Jam episode.
I mean, Space Jam is relevant year round. I think it's always bad.
I've done something. My computer doesn't like me anymore. It didn't like one of the fonts I used.
Uh-oh.
Why not? Did I?
It can happen. A corrupted font can really screw up After Effects. It's really weird how badly a screwed up font will burn After Effects.
Look at that just that silhouette of you in that. It looked...
Oh, in the where was it? Was I on a
That one. That's the one.
Put that on a shoe. Oh my gosh. This reminds me of that kid on TikTok is like, it's just a little dinosaur. Have you seen that? He does it with this like effect on it. He's made this character out of it, and it's extremely funny.
Oh my gosh. I like the sound of this. I like all the things that the kids also are likings.
looks this. Come on. Whoa. So ridiculous.
That's a heck of a typeface, actually. What is that one?
Distorted and scratchy. Just the number of
You're committing type crimes by the way you're stretching that, by the way.
distress. So, oh. Man, I thought I was just gonna pull out like 2 awesome fonts right out the gate, and there we go. Okay.
Yeah. I had to make for my one of my Maxon 3D and motion show presentations. I had to make a bunch of energy drinks because I was pretending to make a commercial for a new energy drink that was so much better than those other energy drinks that come in cans. This one comes in a bottle because energy drinks, all of them come in cans for some stupid reason. And so I was like, but the thought was like lightning in a bottle, energy in a bottle, energy drinks come in bottles. Anyway, so the concept of the commercial was all these gross energy drinks come in cans, but this one's in a bottle. It doesn't rust. Ooh, whatever. So I had to make like parody energy drinks. So I was trying to come up with I learned a lot about energy drink can design that day. I was making all these parodies of Monster and Red Bull. It was it was quite a lot of fun. If anyone ever wants to go back and watch that presentation, you pause it and you can read all the cans. You'll find some humorous titles in place of the copyrighted ones, trademark ones.
Oh my God. Do that right after this, everyone. Let's see, tangerine. There we go. I'm using Universe Luster right here just to add some. This is a little more incongruent with a brand than I was hoping it would be. Seth, that is, if this doesn't become, if we got to release this GIF as a reaction, for going over the top.
We have not updated our Giphy enough. That does need to happen.
Yeah, done. I'll make it even. It needs to be an Instagram sticker.
Wait, can I render this as a pung?
Oh my gosh, this is my favorite thing I've ever made.
It is marvelous.
One thing I do want to adjust. I feel like I need to set this to where I can adjust it. Let's put the comp back in instead of the pre-render. Copy all effects. Paste effects.
Because honestly, this could be, if you were a commercial house, you could offer this up for
it's honestly,
a commercial campaign. This is lovely.
You're not wrong at all. So if I go in here, I'm gonna change the animation. I think. Oh, where is it? I feel like it needs to be more of a hold and then let's see, more of a quick.
It just cuts from the slam action to an aerial of an atom bomb. I will admit those kinds of GIFs make me laugh more than they should.
100%.
Have you considered
writing against
keyframes, Seth?
What?
I was asking if you're going to ease your keyframes at all.
I did. Look at them. They're eased, but they need to be re-eased.
Yeah.
Oh, that was passive-aggressive of you, Michael.
I'm just hangry, and I'm waiting for us to end the show so I can finish eating my chicken
harvest. Oh, yeah, it's time to end. I'm sorry.
We've got about 40 more minutes, everyone.
We can call it. This is a good place to end it. Thank you, everybody, for watching VFX and Chill. Hashi, where have you landed? Plug it in.
Plug it in. Light it up. Plug it in.
Red giant.
Plug it in. Red
Get
giant.
in it.
Yes.
Well,
All right.
let it.
You've witnessed the birth of our new marketing
take you.
direction. Yeah.
90s
Please-
aggression.
Yes.
This is-
Or no, early
Please enjoy
2000s.
this, but with less of the toxicity,
Yes.
as we stated up top. You know.
Oh man.
So
This was one of my favorite episodes in a long time. Thank you everybody for watching. Please
I'm
search
just staring into that void.
that void that is my mouth. Search Giphy for everything we created today sometime soon. Hug your
Search
family members and
Sexy
friends.
Dan Levy for other pictures
Sexy
of
Dan Levy.
Seth Worley. And
Exactly. And please, as always, spay and neuter your pets. We'll see you all next week on VFX and Chill. Goodbye.